I only went to the bank that Tuesday morning to withdraw $500 for my 12-year-old daughter, Emma. I thought it would be a 10-minute errand. I was wrong. The teller swiped my card. He looked at the screen, then at me. The color drained from his face. His fingers froze above the keyboard. Ma'am? Yes? He glanced at his monitor again, then toward the branch manager's office. Is there a problem? I asked. He leaned closer. Please sit down. I frowned. Why? His voice dropped to a whisper. Don't leave the building. A chill moved through me. A red security warning appeared in the corner of his monitor. He minimized it so quickly I barely caught it. Then I noticed the security guard near the entrance. He had quietly moved closer to the doors, and he was watching me. I turned back to the teller. Did someone use my account? I can't discuss that with you. That answer frightened me more than anything else. I'd banked there for 11 years. My account had never been flagged. I'd never bounced a payment or overdrafted. I'd never given them a reason to treat me like a suspect. A moment later, the branch manager approached. Ms. Evans? I nodded. My name is Daniel Brooks. I'm the branch manager. Please come with me. He led me into a small office near the back. Daniel sat across from me and placed a printed transaction record on the desk. Before you panic, he said, we don't believe you made this transaction. I looked down. 48,000. My mouth went dry. I didn't transfer this. I know. Then who did? Daniel pointed to the name attached to the transaction. I looked down. Michael Evans. My husband's name. The man the military had officially told me was presumed dead 5 years ago. I read the name again. Then I looked at Daniel. How is his name on my account? The instruction was created 5 years ago, he said. I stared at him. 5 years ago? He nodded. The money was scheduled to move yesterday. My hands went cold. Why? We don't know yet. Daniel slid another document across the desk. There was another attempt to access your account this morning. My heart started pounding. When? He pointed to the timestamp. 3 minutes before you walked through those doors. I looked at him. Who? We're still trying to find out. Then his expression changed. Ms. Evans, his voice dropped. Someone has been trying to access this account ever since the day your husband disappeared. I stared at the timestamp again. September 14th. My stomach dropped. That was the day the military came to my house and told me Michael was gone. Then how did he create a transfer? Daniel didn't answer immediately. He opened another file on his computer. I still remember the morning the military came to my house, I said quietly. 2 officers stood on my porch. Neither would look me in the eyes. One carried Michael's folded uniform. I swallowed. The other told me 4 words. Daniel looked at me. He's presumed dead. I looked back at the screen. So how could Michael have created this? Daniel pulled up a second set of records. We found something unusual 5 years ago. What? Someone created a financial trail using your identity. I shook my head. I never opened another account. Daniel shook his head. We found no evidence that you did. Then who did? He turned the monitor toward me. Rows of transactions filled the screen. Small payments, then larger ones. Different accounts. Different dates. But every trail eventually led to the same destination. I leaned closer. What is that? A company. Which company? Daniel hesitated. That's what we're trying to determine. I looked at the transactions again. Why would anyone use my identity? Because whoever created this trail didn't want the money connected to its real source. My stomach tightened. Are you saying Michael was stealing? No. His answer came instantly. I'm saying someone wanted it to look that way. I stared at him. For the first time, I wondered if I'd been lied to. Michael hadn't simply disappeared. Someone had wanted the world to believe something about him. Before I could ask another question, Daniel's phone vibrated. He looked at the screen once. Then again. This time, he didn't look at me. He stood and locked the office door. Daniel, the person who tried accessing your account this morning just tried again. My heart began pounding. From where? He pulled up the security cameras. A silver sedan sat across the street. Daniel checked the footage. That car has been there for 20 minutes. I stared at it. Do you know who owns it? Not yet. Then my phone vibrated. One message. Unknown number. You should have taken the 500 and left. My hands started shaking. Daniel read it over my shoulder. His face changed. They know you're here. Another message appeared. This time, there were only 5 words. Michael knew they'd find you. I stared at the screen. Daniel slowly looked up at me. Whoever was watching me knew something about Michael. Something I'd never been told. Daniel zoomed in on the transaction records. Look at the destination accounts. I leaned closer. The same company name appeared again and again. I read it twice. North Star Logistics. What is that? Daniel hesitated. A company with government contracts. My stomach tightened. Michael worked for them? He nodded. Before he disappeared, most of the transactions clustered around 5 years ago. But the trail didn't stop there. The money kept intersecting with North Star, Daniel said. Why? That's what we're trying to figure out. He opened another document. It was a scanned authorization form. My name appeared at the bottom. Clara Evans? I stared at it. That isn't my signature. We know. Then who signed it? Daniel pointed to the authorization record. This was approved using a North Star security credential. I looked at him. Michael had access to those credentials? Daniel nodded. Yes, then he could have done it. Or someone who had access to his credentials could have. I looked back at the document. Something about it felt wrong. When was this authorization approved? Daniel checked the timestamp. September 14th. My stomach tightened. The day Michael disappeared? Yes. He closed the document, then opened another file. This is where things get personal. A new account appeared on the screen. I stared at the name. Emma Evans Education Trust. My daughter? For several seconds, I couldn't speak. That's impossible. Daniel looked at me. Why? Because I opened Emma's education account myself. I had opened it after Michael disappeared. Every deposit had come from my own paycheck. Every statement had come to my home. Daniel pointed to the account number. This isn't the account you opened. My chest tightened. Then who opened it? Daniel's expression hardened. The records don't show a name. He scrolled down. The first deposit appeared. September 14th, the exact day Michael disappeared. My eyes filled with tears. Who was it for? Daniel pointed to the screen. Emma Evans, and beneath it was an authorization name. Michael Evans. My hands began to shake. If Michael created this for Emma, I stopped. I couldn't finish the sentence. Why didn't I know about it? Daniel didn't answer immediately. He looked at Emma's name again. I think Michael knew someone was watching him. My throat tightened. Who? He shook his head. I don't know. He paused. But whatever he was afraid of, his eyes moved back to the screen. He thought your daughter was in danger. I stared at Emma's name. Then Daniel lowered his voice. I don't think Michael was hiding money from you, Clara. He paused. I think he was trying to hide Emma from whoever was looking for him. Daniel looked at Emma's name on the screen. The trust wasn't designed to hide Emma physically, he said. It was designed to separate her financial identity from yours. I frowned. How? Your accounts were compromised. If someone followed the financial records connected to your identity, they could eventually reach information tied to Emma. Michael created a completely separate structure for her, different authorization, different records, and a protected legal trust. I stared at the screen. But why did my $500 withdrawal activate it? Daniel pointed to the security log. Michael built the trigger around 3 conditions. The dormant $48,000 transfer, an unauthorized access attempt, and activity from your original account. He looked at me. Your withdrawal happened while someone was trying to access the account. All 3 conditions were met. A sound came from the lobby. Daniel checked the security footage. The silver sedan was gone. Then his expression changed. 2 people just entered through the side entrance. My heart began pounding. A voice came from outside the office. Open the door. I knew that voice. 5 years earlier, I had heard it on my front porch. One of the officers who had told me Michael was presumed dead. The door opened. He stepped inside. Mrs. Evans, step away from the terminal. I stared at him. You told me my husband disappeared. His face remained cold. I told you what I was instructed to tell you. Daniel quietly pressed a key beneath the desk. The screen changed. A protected file appeared. Michael Evans, final message. The officer moved toward the terminal. I stepped between him and the screen. No. Daniel pressed another key. The evidence package began transmitting automatically. Names, transaction records, authorization logs, internal communications, everything Michael had secretly collected. Then his face appeared on the screen. Clara, he said, if you're seeing this, the protection system worked. My eyes filled with tears. I discovered someone inside our contractor network was using military credentials to move money and frame innocent people. He paused. I couldn't tell you the truth. Anyone close to me could have been watching. The screen displayed several names. The officer's name was among them. Then Michael looked directly into the camera. I don't know what happened to me after I disappeared, but if I never make it home, remember this. His voice softened. I never left you because I stopped loving you. I covered my mouth. I disappeared because I needed Emma to survive. The video ended. For a moment, nobody moved. Then sirens sounded outside. Federal agents entered the lobby, following the evidence transmission Daniel had triggered. The officer was arrested. But as I stared at Michael's final message, one thought refused to leave my mind. If he truly believed he might never come home, why had he never said he was dead? Michael hadn't abandoned us. He had disappeared to protect Emma, and 5 years later, the plan he left behind had finally brought the truth home.
If you enjoyed this story of betrayal, justice, and unexpected revenge, subscribe to Revenge Diaries for more powerful emotional stories.